You're watching Fox 44 First Edition, and joining us now is Don Johnson. He's an author who's just released his debut book, Who's Watching You? Now, Don, thanks for joining us. I understand that you're at your home this morning in Santa Ma.
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. The book itself is actually about your late wife, Ellen, who was a victim of a violent crime and then was actually able to face her attacker in court. What motivated you to write this?
Well, first of all, Ellen was a special person. What happened to her was unbelievable. It stopped both our worlds altogether. And I didn't want this story to go untold because there are so many people that could benefit from it.
I think one of the most unique things about the book is the title in and of itself, Who's Watching You? Can you tell us why did you decide on that title?
Well, I thought of others, but this one seemed to point out the fact that you get out in the public and who really is watching, for what purpose.
Interesting. And also, I read your book this morning, and it does allude to surveillance cameras in big shopping centers, and especially women getting that false sense of security, thinking that those security cameras will protect them. But in the case of Ellen, that's not what happened. Can you briefly describe what happened to her on that day?
This happened exactly 6 months before 9/11, which was horrible enough. But actually, the cameras recorded everything, but no one was watching to send a signal to the police, who should have been there to begin with, and also that no one really cared until he came to ask for the film. And the criminal actually waved to the cameras on the way out, so he knew that no one was watching.
And in this actual crime in and of itself, it happened at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and she'd gone out for some routine shopping, and that's when an individual approached her from behind. And she is definitely a remarkable woman in the way that you describe her, but she went through a series of not just being attacked, but also being stabbed and even raped during that process. And then, as you say, she jumped out of a vehicle that was probably going more than 50 miles per hour, and that's probably what saved her life that day. And you go on to explain how you think that she was part of what came to be DNA swabbing of arrestees. You called her the poster child as that law sort of moved through the ranks. Can you explain that?
Well, after this happened, it was such a shock to the vicinity that the local politicians were talking at the time to change swabbing methods because they needed another tool in their arsenal. And Ellen was such a person that could carry that forward. She was invited to a large gathering of politicians. Over 300 state troopers were there, and she gave her account of it. I wish I would have been able to put a lot of the photographs that were taken of these incidents, but that's how it goes. That's how you learn how to write a book.
In this book, you believe that the part of her mission essentially led to capturing the Baton Rouge serial killer back in the early 2000s. And of course, I remember that. I was in college at the time and lived through that. So any role that she took in that, we certainly appreciate. And we appreciate you, Don, for being with us this morning as well, and certainly wish you all the best in your writing endeavors and whatever else life might bring you.
Thank you very much for having me here.